What if I told you that Logan Paul isn't just facing another YouTube scandal, but actual federal criminal charges that could land him in prison? The guy who built his career on apology videos might be about to face consequences he can't just sorry his way out of. The FBI has entered the chat, and this time there's no delete button. This isn't some influencer beef or boxing match drama. We're talking about grand juries, sealed court documents, wire fraud allegations, and the man who exposed it all. Coffeezilla isn't just a YouTuber anymore. He's officially a federal whistleblower who handed Logan's entire criminal operation to the government on a silver platter. And Logan? Well, he basically snitched on himself by trying to sue the guy who had all the receipts. The most beautiful part of this whole mess is that Logan Paul literally caused his own downfall. Remember when he sued Coffeezilla for defamation, thinking he could bully him into silence? That lawsuit just became the smoking gun that proved Logan is under active federal investigation. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot with a rocket launcher. Here's what actually happened behind the scenes. According to court documents that were supposed to stay sealed forever, Coffeezilla didn't just make YouTube videos exposing Logan's scams. He compiled every piece of evidence: Discord messages, financial records, voice recordings, email chains, and sent it all directly to the FBI and SEC. We're not talking about some YouTuber drama anymore. This is a federal case, with real agents, real subpoenas, and real potential prison time. The government ate it up too. Internal emails from the SEC literally thank Coffeezilla for his very helpful submission and detailed reporting. So when Logan's legal team tried to claim Coffeezilla was just chasing clout, they basically accused the federal government of being fanboys. That's not a legal strategy, that's a fantasy. But let's rewind to where this all started. CryptoZoo, Logan's $10 million digital disaster. He promised investors they could breed rare hybrid animals on the blockchain and earn passive income from their virtual pets. Sounds cool, right? Except there was no game, no breeding, no income, and definitely no cute animals. Just poorly designed JPEGs that look like a middle schooler's art project. Logan collected millions from eager investors. Then, when it came time to deliver the actual game, he pulled a magic trick and made himself disappear. No updates, no refunds, no explanations. Just radio silence, while people watched their life savings turn into worthless pixels. When Coffeezilla documented every shady move in his explosive 3-part investigation, Logan's response was predictable: sue the messenger. Filing that defamation lawsuit was supposed to be Logan's power move to shut down criticism and protect his reputation. Instead, it became the legal equivalent of handing the police your confession. The lawsuit triggered something called discovery, where both sides have to share evidence and documents. That's when everything Logan wanted to keep secret got dragged into the light. Those sealed court exhibits that were supposed to protect Logan's privacy, they revealed he's facing grand jury subpoenas, FBI document requests, and search warrants for his devices. The feds are investigating him for wire fraud, securities fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. This isn't a civil lawsuit where the worst outcome is paying damages. These are criminal charges that come with orange jumpsuits and federal prison time. Logan's team panicked when those documents became public and tried to spin it like Coffeezilla filed them just to embarrass their client. Well, yeah, getting exposed as a federal criminal target is pretty embarrassing. But here's the thing: those files didn't embarrass Logan, they incriminated him. There's a difference between bad PR and evidence of actual crimes. The most damning part came from Logan's own text messages, where he admitted his real goal wasn't clearing his name, but making Coffeezilla pay for exposing him. You can't cry defamation in court while simultaneously texting about wanting revenge on your accuser. That's not a legal strategy, that's a villain's monologue. What makes this even more delicious is that CryptoZoo wasn't Logan's first crypto scam. Let's talk about Dink Doink, a project so ridiculous, Logan literally promoted it with a theme song. He pushed it as a community-driven token, while secretly owning massive shares behind the scenes. When that project inevitably crashed and burned, Logan walked away with bags full of cash while his followers got stuck holding worthless tokens. Now the FBI is sniffing around Dink Doink too, because apparently when you run one crypto scam, investigators tend to look for others. Logan's criminal resume is starting to read like a LinkedIn page for blockchain fraud. One scam could be a mistake, but 2 scams? That's a business model. Logan tried to reassure his fans that everything's fine by claiming the FBI investigation is dormant, like it's just taking a little nap. He also said the SEC closed their case, which he spun as proof of his innocence. But here's what Logan didn't mention. The SEC backed off because of shifting priorities under the new presidential administration, not because he was cleared of wrongdoing. They're basically saying they're too busy with bigger fish right now, so Logan got lucky timing. But the FBI still actively investigating, still building their case. still very much interested in Logan's crypto activities. Just because one agency deprioritized his case doesn't mean he's off the hook. It just means he might get one less lawsuit, while still facing potential criminal charges. The desperation from Logan's legal team became obvious when they started playing the mental health card in court filings. Suddenly, Logan wasn't a crypto scammer. He was a struggling influencer who needed compassion and understanding. It's amazing how every influencer who gets caught red-handed suddenly discovers they have anxiety and depression. If Logan is genuinely struggling mentally, he should absolutely get help. But when your legal strategy goes from "I'm innocent" to "I'm going through it" to "please feel sorry for me," it starts sounding less like a diagnosis and more like a Hail Mary pass in the fourth quarter. This is the same guy who filmed a dead body in Japan's suicide forest for YouTube views. He's not new to controversy or public backlash. He just finally found a situation he can't apology video his way out of. Federal investigations don't care about your subscriber count or podcast numbers. Logan's biggest mistake was thinking he could intimidate Coffeezilla into silence. This is a guy whose entire career is built on exposing crypto scammers and financial fraud. Suing him was like challenging Gordon Ramsay to a cooking contest or asking Einstein to help with your math homework. You're not going to win that fight. The lawsuit gave Coffeezilla legal access to documents and evidence that would normally stay hidden forever. Internal FBI communications, SEC correspondence, Logan's private messages, everything that proved the federal government is building a criminal case. Logan literally provided the rope for his own hanging. Here's what makes Coffeezilla different from other YouTubers. He doesn't just make videos for views. He keeps meticulous records, saves every conversation, documents every transaction, and builds cases like a prosecutor. When he says someone's running a scam, he brings receipts. When those receipts end up in the hands of federal investigators, YouTube drama becomes criminal evidence. Logan survived the suicide forest controversy, multiple crypto scandals, boxing match drama, and countless apology tours. But this situation is fundamentally different. This isn't about reputation management or brand deals. This is about federal courtrooms, criminal charges, and potential prison sentences. When the FBI is involved, there's no "oops, my bad" that makes it go away. There's no influencer PR team that can spin wire fraud charges into a redemption arc. There's just evidence, grand juries, and the slow, grinding wheels of federal justice. The amount of evidence stacking up against Logan is staggering. Financial records, communications with co-conspirators, victim testimonies, blockchain transaction histories. Coffeezilla basically handed the government a pre-built criminal case with a bow on top. Federal prosecutors love cases where the investigative work is already done for them. What's really wild is that Logan could have avoided all of this by just staying quiet and letting the internet move on to the next scandal. Instead, he declared war on the one person who had the evidence to destroy him. That lawsuit turned Coffeezilla from a YouTuber with suspicions into a federal witness with proof. The irony is almost too perfect. Logan Paul, the guy who built his career on creating content and controlling narratives, just created the content that could send him to federal prison. His defamation lawsuit became the very evidence that defamed him. His attempt to silence criticism became the megaphone that broadcasted his crimes to federal investigators. If you're keeping score at home, Logan went from crypto scammer to federal target to potential felon, all because he couldn't handle being exposed by a YouTuber with better research skills. That's not just karma. That's karma with a federal badge and arrest warrant. So here's the million-dollar question. Will Logan Paul finally face real consequences for his actions, or will he somehow slither out of this federal investigation like he's done with every other scandal? Given that the FBI doesn't typically back down from wire fraud cases with this much evidence, Logan might want to start practicing his prison phone calls. One thing's for sure. Coffeezilla just pulled off what might be the greatest YouTube takedown of all time. He didn't just expose a scammer. He turned him into a federal criminal case study. That's not just content creation. That's public service with production value. If you start seeing Logan posting Bible quotes on Instagram or talking about finding Jesus, you'll know it's officially over. Because when influencers start getting religious, that's usually the last stop before the courtroom. Until then, we'll be watching to see if the Maverick finally meets his match in the form of federal prosecutors who don't care about subscriber counts or apology videos. The most satisfying part? Logan Paul created his own downfall by trying to bully someone who fights back with federal investigations. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's letting karma bring the FBI as backup.